Happy Monday and welcome to Torah Today with me, with Chavi Rappaport, because our Torah is so relevant today, just as it was yesterday at Sinai. Confidence, isn't that such a necessary ingredient to really accomplish things in life and reach prominent goals? Complacency, is that the same? Or is that not? And what about ego? They say ego, it sounds like it's healthy. It's healthy to have a good ego, a strong sense of self, it's about me, it centers around me. Ego can also be etching God out or easing God out. Let's take a little deeper look into this week's Torah portion, Parshat Mikeitz. Let's follow the events of Joseph. He has been sold, made his journey with the merchants, finally arriving in Egypt, sold as a slave, but suddenly he rises. He's the administrator in the chief butcher's home, Potiphar. He's in charge of everything. It seems like life is good. He is rising in importance. It's an illusion, only for it all to fall apart, especially when he is accused of attacking Potiphar's wife. Again, he winds up in prison at the bottom of the rung. There he is, a prisoner languishing in prison. But even in prison, all of a sudden, everybody seems to turn to him. He is like the master in prison. But he interprets the dreams of the Sar HaMashkim, the winemaker, the baker, the king's personal winemaker and baker, and it seems like things are just getting better. And he asks the winemaker, please remember me to the king. Tell the king that you met me in prison and help me be released. And then again, another 2 years pass. Joseph, who has seemingly risen to such a prominent position, falls right back down. What is it? What is this illusion of greatness that seems to just slip through his fingers? But then, Paro has two dreams, and no one can interpret them. And miraculously, the Sar HaMashkim, the wine butler, remembers. There was this Jew boy, young boy in prison. He actually interpreted my dreams. And when Paro brings Yosef out of jail, and he's brought before him, and Paro says, hey, I hear that you have a special, uncanny talent for deciphering dreams. Here comes the clincher. And Joseph remarks, Biladai, it's not about me. It's not at all about me. Don't attribute the greatness to me. It is God. It is Hashem who is going to answer et shalom Paro. Hashem is going to help you understand your dream. Don't give me the credit. And that is the beginning of the turning point of Joseph's rise to greatness. From that point onward, Paro hears the interpretation to his dream, and it makes such sense. And he immediately turns to Joseph and says, we need to appoint somebody to be in charge of overseeing the food distribution and allocating the food and putting aside food from the 7 years of plenty so that we'll have food when the famine comes. Yosef, who could be better suited for this than you? And then the angel comes and teaches him 70 languages in the middle of the night. so that he is fitting for this position, because no one who does not know all 70 languages is allowed to rise to this coveted position of viceroy of Egypt. And so, as soon as Joseph attributes the greatness, puts himself aside, and doesn't rely not on himself, and also doesn't put his trust in someone else, in the wine butler to remember him, when his trust is solely in God, everything seems to come together and to blossom and bloom into a dynamic, beautiful future. Can you guess what our takeaway is? When we attribute our successes, our greatness, our gifts to God, and when we know how to thank God for all those things he brings to us, and don't just sit back and pat ourselves on the back and think, it's me, it's all me, it's all my wisdom, it's all my effort, it's all my initiative. When we attribute it to God, the blessings that we incur and the great miracles that can come about are just unbelievable. Have a beautiful day, and let's remember to notice and acknowledge God in everything. Modeh